Good man, this one.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
Wow. That's terrible. That's what it says. That's what it says. So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said. These people, it's terrible, terrible. Terrible to say a thing like that, but he really doesn't know. He really, honestly, he doesn't. And I'm convinced that he likes me more than he likes Kamala. Convinced.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. And we also have to talk about Trump's comment at the very end of that. How Biden likes Trump more than her. You know, because I think there may be an ounce of truth to that. Because, you know, there's a lot of things that Trump says that, you know, left-wing media, the propagandists in the media always try to paint as false or fake. And then come to find out, it was actually true. And I think he might be right again. If you guys didn't know, as you heard there, Biden called all of Trump's supporters garbage. Yeah, garbage. He called us all garbage. I'm going to play the clip for you. Check it out.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable. And it's un-American.
The only garbage I see out there are his supporters. Now, of course, left-wing propagandist media, they got to run cover for him. They got to run cover because the whole narrative the media had been running with was the comment that Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian, had said, right? And tried to make it sound and seem as if it was Trump's comments when really Trump didn't say it, nor did he approve of it. But they have been running with that narrative. Now they have this on their hands, the Biden calling half of America garbage. So, as you would expect, mainstream media is trying to run cover. If you don't believe me, check it out.
It's a nothing burger.
I couldn't agree more.
I mean, y'all are trying to make the listen.
You don't get to have it both ways.
No, I'm not.
You can't say it's a joke and but it's serious and let's do round the clock media coverage when it's a comedian. But when the president of the United States says it, no, we'll give him a free pass.
You know what's crazy? I want you to take the president of the United States to task. You do that, and I want you to do that as well. Take him to task and say that his comments were inappropriate. Actually, I want you to get a warm, cozy blanket and say it reminds you of 2016 when Hillary Clinton called us deplorables, right?
That's happening.
And then what I'm going to tell you is the fact that Kamala Harris got on stage tonight in front of 100,000 people and talked about the America that she wanted. I'm going to tell you about the fact that Kamala Harris said that she's going out on the campaign trail with people like Liz Cheney, that she has Bush's campaigning for, that she's going to put a Republican in her cabinet, that there is nobody on God's green earth that can look you directly in the face with any level of intellectual honesty and tell you that the America that Kamala Harris wants versus the America that Donald Trump wants is the exact same. And so, yes, listen, you want to talk about foot and mouth disease? That's Joe Biden. Do we want him on the campaign trail? You know, the sources that we have, we actually do want him on the campaign trail, contrary to popular belief, because he still does well.
I will say, though, Bakari,
with certain demographics.
he was in his house, the White House. He was in his house doing this, and the reporting is that there are places that he can be useful, but he's not everywhere, like you might expect a sitting president to be for his vice president.
I don't know that I would expect this president to be everywhere in this moment. I mean, look, a critical element, any coach will tell you, any CEO will tell you, a critical element of running a team and winning is assessing the strengths and weaknesses of your team members and making sure you allocate them in the right way. Joe Biden has never been a big arena speaker. He's never been the most fluid speaker. And by the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves. But Joe Biden has been on the campaign trail. He's best getting ice cream in Maryland like he was today. He's best showing moments of empathy in Arizona like he was last week. He's best with union folks as he was in Pittsburgh last week as well. You use people where they are best. You put Obama in a big arena, you put Michelle in a big arena, and you put Joe Biden in front of a bunch of union people doing retail politics.
You could make the argument that they would be fine if Joe Biden wasn't anywhere near a microphone between now and next Tuesday.
Let me just accept the most charitable framing of this, which you just gave. Yeah. Why is he sitting in front of a laptop at the exact same moment Kamala Harris is out on his backyard trying to give the closing argument to her campaign? What in the world is he doing? Now, I don't accept your framing of it personally because I actually do believe he, Harris, the Democratic Party, and most of their campaign do believe that half the country is garbage. They've also said people who go to Trump rallies are Nazis. And so it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
It's not true. We've already litigated it in Kamala's speech tonight.
But as a tactical matter today,
no, but you don't just get to say that.
Why in the world is Joe Biden giving remarks at the same time as Kamala Harris?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. We're going to talk about other.
I thought he was going to be here for a couple of segments. I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. If you want to talk about who's running with various candidates and what they're saying, where's Mike Pence? Where's Nikki Haley? Where's every single Republican living vice president and president? They're not speaking for Donald Trump.
Except for Sarah Palin.
You got me there.
Haley's for Trump.
Haley is not on the trail.
I'll get to the Nikki
Haley's not on the trail. They haven't spoken since June, so she might be.
She spoke at our convention.
I think
she has not been there. She has not been on the trail. They haven't spoken since June.
She spoke at our convention.
I think Kamala Harris is running a young and modern and fresh campaign. It is very rare to be the vice president of a president running while he is still president. That does not happen.
Notice how they completely changed the subject? Did you catch it? Mm-hmm. And the first thing Bakari Sellers said, who I think he's a trash journalist. You can't even call him a journalist. He's a talking head. That's all he is. Not a journalist. Actually, what do they label him as? Let's see here. I think his thing says, it says he's a political commentator. That's hilarious. But he said it was a nothing burger. Really? And then proceeded to go on this, fluffy speech about Kamala. Trump didn't make those comments, but I guarantee you he was one of the folks that was up in arms about it. Oh my goodness! How dare they make that kind of statement? Like what? The bias with these folks is just, man, the double standard is just crazy. Absolutely insane with these folks. CNN should just be shut down. It shouldn't even be a news network. Put me on the news. Gosh darn it. Let me be on mainstream television. Holy moly. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, Trump made an interesting statement at the end of that, and I think this is being done on purpose. I really do. You guys remember when the camera caught Biden and Obama talking? And allegedly, Biden told Obama that she's not as strong as him. Remember this clip? Yeah, you remember that? And you guys remember, I think I made a whole video on this a while back, you know, how I believe, or why I believe Biden was intentionally sabotaging Kamala's campaign, because he had no choice but to step down. I think he was forced to step. When Trump says they ran a coup against him, I believe that. I think he had zero intentions on stepping down, and he was going to continue to run. Yeah, I believe that. Do you guys remember when he said this?
There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days, with the hurricane, with the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
There have obviously been a number of.
So you heard that. During a time where Kamala and her team are trying to distance themselves from Biden, he assured that they were attached at the hip. We're singing the same song. We're singing the same tune. You know, I don't know. He comes out and he does, you know, this thing where he calls all of us garbage at the same time that Kamala is having a rally, basically, outside of the White House. I mean, he knew the rally was happening right then at that very moment. I mean, it's right outside the White House. She had a rally outside the White House. And Biden is inside the White House and on camera doing that, saying that half of America is garbage. At the same time, Kamala's trying to distance herself, but he says, hey, we're singing the same song in tune. And that's not the first time that he wanted to go on national television to do something while Kamala was busy, you know, trying to garner more support. She was on The View, and this is what he was doing at the same time.
What's the risk of political figures sharing misinformation during this time?
Past his prologue is real, but the fact of the matter is, I think we have, I've been able to contact all the governors. They are sticking up for what they've asked for. They're pointing out that they're satisfied with everything they're getting. But I can't speak for others on the internet. And I mean, just look.
Okay, I don't want to hear him talk anymore. You guys also remember when she was going after Ron DeSantis and trying to say that he was making it a political thing, right? Hurricane Helene. He was making it a political issue, and Joe Biden came out and refuted that and said, no, we've worked well together. You guys remember that? I'm telling you, he's doing this on purpose. He is definitely doing this on purpose. Now, obviously, he can't come out and overtly, you know, do some stuff. Like, he can't come out and say, yeah, I'm voting for Trump, you know, on live television. That would be really, really bad. His party would, whoo, I'd be worried for his safety. If you think Hillary Clinton's the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure there's more folks that are just as bad as her in that party. But I would seriously be worried for his safety. So he just does little stuff like this while she's doing a rally. Oh, half of America is garbage, by the way. While she's on The View, you know, trying to garner views. Oh, yeah, let's do a press conference. Right after she, you know, tries to blame a Republican governor for turning a tragedy into something political. Oh, no, I spoke to him. We've spoken several times and we're working well together. Y'all tell me, like, this seems intentional and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving it. And the story that I'm getting from behind the scenes is that Kamala's team is basically kind of like pushing Joe Biden off and trying to keep him at arm's length distance from the campaign, right? They don't want him out on the trail at all. They don't want him doing anything. They basically want Biden to disappear. And he and his team refuse. And I'm loving it, man. I am absolutely loving this stuff. I'm loving it. Because, and I think the reason why he's doing it, one, because he got pushed out, but two, he'll kind of be, his legacy will kind of be saved in a way, because he can walk away from the party and into retirement knowing that, hey, I was the only one that beat Trump. And if you had me, you probably would have won. But since you wanted to kick me out, now you guys lost. That's what I think he wants. That's what I think he wants. I'm just saying. And y'all can let me know your thoughts and your opinions on that in the comment section. Obama agreeing that he's stronger than Kamala. I don't know, guys. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me, please. Peace and love. I'm out.